Mike, you and I were up there for a couple days in New Hampshire. Donald Trump wins last night by 11 points. Some of those tracking polls had it bigger than that. Those 20-point margins felt big. 11 is still a double-digit win. But if you look ahead to a general election, if he makes it that far, he just, in New Hampshire, couldn't win an independent voter. I mean, he got a hold on the Republicans who actually went out and voted in New Hampshire. That was very clear. And by the way, 80-some% of them who came out, the Republicans who voted for Trump, said Joe Biden didn't win the election. So that message has gotten through and taken hold. It's completely flipped, though, with people who voted for Nikki Haley. 85% say, yeah, of course Joe Biden won the election. So it's an independent problem among many for Donald Trump.
You know, there's quite a lot, I think, in the two clips that we showed. The first clip of Chris Sununu talking about the campaign and the election that was held yesterday in New Hampshire. And the second clip, obviously, of the former guy, Trump, on the stage in a victory speech. And what I think is there is just what you alluded to. The target is independent voters. And Chris Sununu, God bless him, he's a star. He is now a star. And Nikki Haley's campaign, toward the end of the campaign, she was very effective, very efficient, because of Chris Sununu, I think, in large part. And maybe if Chris had attached himself to her earlier in the campaign, or she had spent more time in New Hampshire, she may not have won New Hampshire, but I think she could have come into single digits rather than a double-digit loss. That's one thing. The other thing, the Trump appearance. Angry, self-absorbed, mean-spirited. That is not an attractive package for independent voters in this country. Never mind just New Hampshire. Voters in this country. You don't want to waste your vote for President of the United States on someone with that form of personality, that form of appearance. You don't want to live with that. And I think the longer it goes on, the longer Nikki Haley stays in the race, the longer she'll provoke more personal attacks like that. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work well for any Republican. It doesn't work well, certainly, for the country. But I'll tell you who it does work well for, the Democrats and Joe Biden.
Yeah, she's got another month. If she does, in fact, stay in, and she says she will, another month from today until South Carolina. So buckle up. Let's go back up to Manchester, New Hampshire, where we find former MSNBC host Chris Matthews. Chris, great to see you again today. What are your impressions this morning after Donald Trump's 11-point win last night?
Well, my impression was really, when I watched it last night, of Donald Trump. I mean, he was blown apart, because here is Nikki Haley, a relative newcomer to politics compared to Bill Clinton and people like that, pulling a Bill Clinton number. Back in 1992, Bill Clinton lost the New Hampshire primary by 8 points to Paul Saugus. But at 10 o'clock that night, he went out way before the nightly news, the late news, and he declared himself the winner. You made me the comeback kid. This is exactly what Nikki Haley did last night. She came on when the polls were still very close, the results coming in very close, and she said, I won, basically. And that is exactly what is driving Donald Trump crazy. He put a lot of effort into this state. He held a lot of rallies all around the state, very carefully segmenting different parts of the state. He got a lot of poor people, a lot of people hard up, really, coming out for him in the Republican Party. And yet, here she is coming out like a butterfly. You know, she was a caterpillar for a while there, and then she's a butterfly right in his face saying, basically, I won, and I'm going to be in your face now for months. And that is a statement he did not want to hear. He thought he could put her away, and he didn't do it last night. She's going to be around for weeks. She's going to get a lot of media attention because, as you all been saying this morning, she's a lot better now than she was a few weeks ago. She is now the star, or close to the star, I thought I saw coming here when I came up here to cover this thing. I thought she'd get more closer to him, to his weakness. And she's getting there with this age thing. And so's Chris Sununu. They were hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, and he makes more and more mistakes, confusing her with Pelosi. Give me a break. That was a long period of time he was saying things like, she was the one that didn't take my 10,000 troops. What are you talking about? So I think she's going to go out, just like E. Jean Carroll. She's out there, and the other people, the other witnesses. What do you think Mark Meadows is going to be like in the hearing, in the January 6th hearing? Come on. He's facing a lot of bad news and a lot of people who are out to get him with the truth. And it's not going to be pretty for him. And he saw it last night. She's out there like a butterfly. I thought I stomped her when she was a caterpillar. Well, she's not. She's a butterfly now.